Om Om Sakana Vavatu Sakano Gunaktu Sakaviryam Karavavakai Tedasvinavati Tamastu Ma Vitvishavai Om Shanti 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 Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sridhar.
Namaskaram, Mama. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadasadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Namostu te Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Namah Fullara Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrita Duhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsas Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamritam Mahat Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishmadrona Tata Jayatra Tajala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalya Grahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryordhana Vartinim Sotirna Kalupandavairana Nadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Paracharya Vajasarojamamalam Geetarthagandotkatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuryad Bharata Pankajak Kalimala Pradvamsina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripātamaham Mande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedaisanga Padakramopanishadaihi Gayantriyan Samagaha Dhyana Avastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Na Vidussura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Hari Om Mama.
Thank you, Sridhar. From chapter 9, from the 20th sloka to 29th sloka, Lord is talking about the bhakti. Mainly he was talking about Sakama Bhakti and Nishkama Bhakti. To give an explanation between Sakama Bhakti and Nishkama Bhakti, there are three identities. One, we, human being. Say, I am. And then the world of objects. And third is God. So myself, the world, the God. Once we should know that God is the provider of everything. We think that world is providing us all the comforts. No. God is the ultimate provider for everything. So what we do is in Sakama Bhakti, we will use the God to help to get whatever we want from the world. So the root is, I am approaching God. God is my instrument, and the objects from the world is my sadhyam. So sadhana sadhyam. This is called sakama bhakti. God is always involved in bhakti. If God is not there, and people who approach directly the world and get things done, we are not talking about those people. We are talking about people who are using the God to get what they want. So sakama bhakti. Assuming that we do not use God, we want God directly. Because we know that over a period of time, we will come to know that God is provider of everything, including the objects in the world. So in that case, what happens is, my goal is God. So I have no desires because God has got everything. So He will provide whatever I want because He is a provider of everything. And this is called Nishkama Bhakti. So Sakama Bhakti and Nishkama Bhakti. Sakama Bhakti is the starting point. Sakama Bhakti is not what you call as condemned or anything. It is one step before getting into Nishkama Bhakti. So once we come to know that God is giving everything, then we will not use God as a tool, but we will directly approach Bhagavan, and Bhagavan can provide us everything. This is a Nishkama Bhakti definition. So here directly we are tapping Bhagavan for whatever we want. That's what he says in the 22nd sloka. Ananyas chintayan stomam yejana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. The people who directly approach me and surrender to me, no other thought other than Bhagavan, their welfare, yogakshemam, I will look after. Because they have no time for earning and maintaining the body and all that. So for them, Bhagavan assures, he gives a promise that I will look after your welfare. And then he also says in the 25th sloka, Yanti Devavrata Devan, Pitrin Yanti Pitirvrataha, Bhutani Yanti Bhutedhya, Yanti Madhyajino Imam. So the first three are Yanti Devavrata. So those who want devas to please, we worship various devatas, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Shiva, and all that. So that is Sagama Bhakti. So if you do Sagama Bhakti, Bhagavan says, I will give you whatever you want. Again he says, Pitrin Yanti Pitirvrataha. Somebody wants Pitir Lokas, I give you that. Then he says, Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya. Those who want lesser gods, like ghosts and all that. There are a lot of people who invoke these wild devatas to settle score with their enemies. So, yeah, Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya. The last one is Yanti Madhyajinopi Mam. Those who seek me, I give them myself. So that is the Nishkama Bhakti. So Bhagavan is not partial. He will give you what you want, whatever you ask. And then comes the next sloka, which is today's topic. Patram pushpam balam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyupahrisam asnami prayatatmanaha. Patram pushpam balam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyupahrisam asnami prayatatmanaha. He is a Nishkama Bhakta. What is the difference between Sakama Bhakti and Nishkama Bhakti? In the case of Sakama Bhakti, I want wealth, I want money, property, or whatever it is. So we go to a priest, and the priest will say, you do a Sudarshana Homam. Accordingly, we will do a Sudarshana Homam, and the benefit of that Sudarshana Homam is that we will acquire wealth. But to perform that Sudarshana Homam, there are so many formalities involved. It's a rigorous discipline required. You need proper place, proper area, proper priest, proper money to give dakshinas, then nevedyams. And if you do anything out of the way, suppose whatever is prescribed in the rituals, if you don't follow that, then you get pratyavaya dosha. Instead of giving benefit, it will give you adverse results. So that means when you want to do a ritual, disciplines are to be followed, and certain disciplines are very rigorous. The higher the benefit, higher the difficulties. Higher the benefit, higher the difficulties. Disciplines. So anywhere you make a mistake, you get pratyavaya dosham. And for that you have to do prayachittam. This is in Sakama Bhakti. Whereas in the case of Nishkama Bhakti, no such disciplines are required. It is one of the easiest to follow. I'll give another example. Suppose we chant Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra. If you want material benefit from Vishnu Sahasranama, there is a proper way of chanting. The letters are to be pronounced properly. There should not be any mistake in pronouncing the letters, alphabets. Otherwise, it will not give you the result. It will give you adverse result. That is the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra Parayana. That is we are doing it for Sakama purpose, some material benefits. But the same thing, you do Nishkama. I want Bhagavan, Ishvara Prapti. You recite the same Vishnu Sahasranama. You can make any number of mistakes. Because there, the result what you want is Chitta Shuddhi, purity of the mind. So if you want purity of the mind, even if you make mistakes in Nishkama Bhakti, because Nishkama Bhakti is for what? That I have no desires, material desires. I am only interested in Bhagavan. So Bhagavan will forgive me for whatever mistakes I have done. That's why we say at the end of the puja and all that, Kayena, Vacha, Manasa, Indriya, Sarva, Kayena, Vacha, Manasa, Indriya, Kayena Vacha, Mansendreva, Swabhavati, Karomi Yajat Sakalam Parasmai, Narayanayeti Samarpayami. This is what we do at the end of the puja. So, whatever actions I have done, bodily, mentally, physically, if there are any mistakes, please pardon me, forgive me. Whereas in the case of Nishkama Bhakta, when he recites Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra, so such disciplines are not required. So when I am seeking Bhagavan, at that time, Bhagavan is not interested in what you offer. whatever offer is given to him, he will accept it because your bhakti is for Bhagavan. That is what is called your bhavam, attitude. What is my attitude? Attitude is I want Bhagavan. But if you want any material benefits, then you have to, whatever costly gifts you give, you expect costly benefits to come back. Whereas this is, Nishkama Bhakti is very, very easy to follow. So this is the major advantage in Nishkama Bhakti. And the second aspect of Nishkama Bhakti is, how do I measure my Bhakti? I go to the temple, early morning, take bath, I do my whatever daily activities are to be done. I complete everything. I go to Bhagavan. I offer him something. I offer namaskarams and all that. But these are all done physically. And maybe you may do some parayanam mentally or orally. This is again Sakama Bhakti. It is not Nishkama Bhakti. Because you can do it in two ways. If you want to do it as Nishkama Bhakti, then what you have to do is, I want Bhagavan. So if you want Bhagavan as the ultimate aim, then it is not the procedure which is involved. It is you are always tied up with Bhagavan. For example, now, as I told you, that you ask the priest, okay, he will show finally the Karpur Arati. So I am a big man, so please put 100 camphor tablets and burn. And there will be another fellow who is standing nearby. When he does the arati, he says, put only one camphor. So we compare the bhakti, whether the 100 tablet camphor burning is more bhakti, is more devoted person, or the other one. This is not the measurement for bhakti. Similarly, as I told you, that if you have too many pictures of in your puja room, and I keep only one picture of my Ishta Devata, so there also you cannot compare. Then what is the measure for comparing the bhakti? Comparing the bhakti depends upon your attitude and your tyagam. How much you are willing to sacrifice for the sake of Bhagavan. That is a measurement. So if I sacrifice a little bit, Bhagavan also gives a little bit of prasad. See, that is why in our houses, in our villas and all that, Nana Nani, especially in villa, they have already given a particular place for the puja room. And in the apartment also, they have given a place for puja room. We are forgetting that the entire villa or the apartment is provided by Bhagavan. And we are giving a small area for worshipping of Bhagavan. Nothing wrong in it. But what our attitude should be, that I should know that the entire villa or the apartment, what I own, is all provided by Bhagavan. So I have to remind that I have a small puja room. He owns this, not we own. So the difference is ownership, doership. So surrender the doership. Surrender the doership should come with attitude, with my bhava. So bhakti is measured with respect to how much we are willing to sacrifice. The more you sacrifice, that is why, sannyasis. Nachur Venkataraman has recently taken sannyasa and has changed his name as Ramana Charana Tirtha. And he announced very clearly that now I worship everybody as Bhagavan, because he has no difference between his wife, his son, his children, his neighbors. No. He says, I am a public property where the Bhagavan will look after me. So that is he has renounced everything. He has taken sannyasa. He has no house. Every place is his house. every person is Bhagavan. He is treating it. And he's not worried about the food and all that because yoga kshemam bhagamyakam. He knows that Bhagavan will not let him down. So that is the measurement of bhakti. Again, there are people in our own villa now we have seen in Nana Nadi that we offer flowers to the Bhagavan. So when we offer flower, what happens? Somebody says, instead of the flower which is grown in your garden, you steal from your neighbor's flowers and offer. Then somebody says that is superior. That flower is more superior to Bhagavan's worship. In fact, one of the lady has told in our Nana Nani house that after all, I am also picking your flower and I am putting it to Bhagavan only. So that is not bhakti. That is not dharma. The dharmic method we should offer. So here he says, so it is not what we really offer. It is not immaterial. It is not concerned at all whether you can give an abhishekam with a silver spoon or a golden spoon or a steel spoon or a plastic spoon. After all, we are offering only tirtham. So patram, pushpam, balam, toyam. What is the condition? Yaha me bhaktya prayachati. The one who offers these with bhakti attitude. Yo me bhaktya. So the offering should be with bhakti. Suppose there is a wealthy man, he wants to offer all very, what you call as costly flowers and this and that, which is not available in his area, but he gets it imported. There are people who import roses and all that from Europe for some functions. So that nothing wrong in it. But according to his capacity, he spends. But Bhagavan is not looking at the capacity. Bhagavan is testing your attitude. What is the attitude with which you are giving? So that is the most important thing. Patram, pushpam, balam, toyam. And all these are available for a common man. Nothing, there's no problem at all. Patram, vilva ele, vilvam, or tulasi. So these are all commonly available. Why not we use those things? Patram, pushpam, yes. Some flower is always available. Fruits, palam, is available. Toyam, water, those days water was available plenty. Nowadays somebody can ask whether I should use distilled water or tap water or RO water. So that is immaterial here. That is not a criteria. So patram, pushpam, balam, toyam. Yo me bhaktya prayachati. Yaha me bhaktya prayachati. The one who offers these things to me. Then he says in the second line, Tadaham bhakti upahritam asnami prayatatmanaha. Tadaham, that offering what you make with bhaktya upahritam, whatever you are offering me, asnami, I am eating, I am consuming, I am accepting your love. Prayatatmanaha, this is the most important word of this sloka. Prayatatmanaha means, praya means pure, with your mind totally in purity, chitta shuddhi. That means there should not be any kalmasham, no impurities in the mind. So if you do not have any impurities, and if you offer anything to Bhagavan, Bhagavan says, I will take that, I will accept it. It is nothing but love. So that means you should offer it with love and affection. Tad aham bhakti upakritam asnami prayatatmanaha. So if you see this sloka, First line also bhakti, second line also bhakti. So there are two bhakti. That means the importance is given to the attitude, bhava. So it is not the action which is very important. You can do any type of action. We can bring, for example, any puja we do, we can bring pandits and people and all that. It's not that. But what is the attitude? Bhakti. Because it is in two lines, it is trust. It is shows the importance of bhakti, attitude. So Nishkama Bhakti, Bhaktan, is a Chitta Shuddhi fellow, pure action, and whatever he is offering is there called, you can call it love. With love he is offering, and naturally Bhagavan says, whatever you offer me with love, I will accept. Tadaham bhakt upahritam, accept. Asnami, I consume. So this is the importance of this sloka. There are people, who go to Tirupati and give their hair. It's a very common thing, people go and hair. What is the significance? Bhagavan is not requiring your hair, but Bhagavan is now testing you whether you are going to surrender your beauty. Once you are remove the hair removed, it affects your personality, beauty or whatever it is. But that you are willing to surrender, that is bhakti. That is the attitude. We all have heard the story of Sudama called Kuchela. Sudama and Sri Lord Krishna, they were classmates in Sanjeevani Vidyalaya. They studied together. And then after the completion of the study, Sudama took Grihasthashramam, and he was in Bhagavatam, he is called a Brahmajnani, and Krishna did his princely duties, Kshatriya duties. And after a long time, we all know that Sudama had a very poor, he was completely surrounded by poverty. So his wife was asking Sudama, because Krishna was also in Dwarka at that time, why don't you go and meet your friend? But Sudama said, I have no requirement. I am totally Purnam, complete, Brahmajnani. So why should I go and seek him for these small petty things? But his wife went on insisting that at least you go and see him. Okay, I will go and see him. But what will I take with me for him, for my friend? He is a good friend of mine. So there was nothing in the house, no sweets, no fruits, nothing. So only there was avil, flattened rice. And that too, there is no proper container or bag or whatever it is, fancy bags. So he took it, tied to the cloth with him, and he went to meet Lord Krishna. And Krishna knew that Sudama is coming to my palace. So some 100 feet away, when Sudama was entering the gate, Lord Krishna was running towards Sudama and to receive him. So he met him, hugged him, and then invited him, did Pada Prashtalanam, Pada Puja and all that. That water he sprinkled on himself and others. So you can see in what esteem Lord himself is keeping a Brahmajnani. And they talk to each other and all that. And what is your... Bhagavan also did not ask anything about him, and he also did not ask for any favors or anything. And afterwards they departed. After the bhakti, the union is completed, they met. That offering of that owl is a symbolism of his love, affection. So Bhagavan knew that he is because Bhagavan is a Sarvajna. So Bhagavan knew, even though he didn't ask anything, but he showered his wealth to Sudama family. So how much the love can give, that is to be seen from this Kuchela Upakhyanam. It is all given in Bhagavatam. So bhakti expresses in the form of action. We have to do all external activities, because that is action is the expression of bhakti. Attitude is also in Sanskrit called bhavana. See, now, if I have to get bhakti or the attitude, if I have to increase my attitude, it results into action. So that means I can do action, a proper action, to develop attitude, vice versa. I give an example to this. There was a king, he went for hunting with all his ornaments and all that. So in the night, a thief came and took away all the ornaments. And the king, they knew that he's taking the ornaments, they followed him. But before the king reached to catch this thief, the thief saw that he cannot escape anymore, and he saw a hermitage nearby, where one sannyasi was there. So what he did was, he took one ochre rope and tied to took that ochre rope and put some bhasma in the head, on his forehead, and then he sat in a place as if closed his eyes and as if he was doing meditation. Then the king came inside, saw a sannyasi doing meditation, so he prostrated in front of the sannyasi. And then after that he went away. Now the thief thought, I just put this ochre rope just 1 minute before, and the result is that Bhagavan, that prince, the king is coming and doing prostration to me. I am a thief. He is coming and prostrating to me. So what is the value of that ochre rope? So if I take the ochre rope seriously, and I'll be an eligible person to wear this ochre robe, acquire those qualifications, then what will be my strength and power? And he became a jnani. So that means he used the ochre robe to change his attitude. So from his previous profession of stealing, he became a bhakta. So this is what I meant by that we can all develop this attitude. So you go back to the action, think about the action, and the reverse is also possible, action. So that is why here we say, it is not that patram, pushpam, balam, toyam. No, that is not the thing. But that attitude you develop. So once you develop that attitude, naturally that will culminate it into attitude, bhavana. And then you become a jnani. Even if somebody comes to our house, especially if you love that person who is coming to your house, whatever dishes you have prepared, sweet dishes, for example, if anybody else is coming, you will not give. You will just have a talk and all that. But if it is a very, very loving person, friend is coming to you, whatever you love most, you will offer that to that guest. Whether the guest likes it or not, that's a different issue. But that is our attitude. So if you are having Bhagavan as your ultimate end, so you can imagine this is how the bhakti has to be developed. So patram pushpam vadam toyam. No, don't mistake it, because he says a condition is prayat atmanaha, with a absolutely clean, pure mind. If you can offer that, that is how you have to develop Nishkama Bhakti. Like, the dress gave him that attitude. Now people are going to Shabarimala. So when they do Shabarimala, what they do? For 40 days, they have they put a mala and they put a black dress. They don't shave. They don't eat in the non-vegetarian, and they don't go to hotels and all these places, and they walk without chappals. 40 days, they have a rigorous thing. But the only thing is, after that 40 days completion, they don't acquire that particular trait, attitude. Because they again come back to, that is why, Shine Punye Martya Lokam Vishamdi. That is, once you complete your vratam, you are not able to stay in that vratam. Shine Punye Martya Lokam Vishamdi. So, the man going to Shabarimala, after putting the garland, Mala Puttakindapuram, he see a hotel nearby, he will not, even though he is tempted to go inside, he will not go. Because that Mala is reminding him that I am not supposed to go inside and eat. So that is an indication. Like, somebody wearing instead of, I say, I am going to remove all my costly gold necklace and this and that, and I put a Rudraksha. That Rudraksha is nothing but a reminder for you. When we sit in puja, we put Rudraksha or this thing. So they're all reminding you that you are not an ordinary person. You're going to get devotion. So devoted person. So that means it is immaterial as to what you offer to Bhagavan. It is with what attitude or what sankalpa you are offering. That is the most important benefit. Now, in the case of Nochur Venkatraman has given a beautiful statement about this Patram Pushpam. I just read as it is, because he says, in the case of a plant, first you have to do watering. That's why Patram Pushpam Balam Toyam. So to offer nourishment to that seed, you offer water. And then the sprout takes place, plant comes in. And from there the patra, leaf is coming. And after the leaf, the flower will come. And after the flower, the fruit will come. So that water is the most important element here. That is called meditation, he says. So if you do meditation, meditation will flower into leaves, flower, and fruits. That means our devotion, meditation should be in such a way that we should get these type of benefits. So here he says, here, watering the plant means the sadhana done diligently every day. Most of us are doing. When you water a plant daily, it gets nourished and grows well. Simultaneously, in spiritual life, when you meditate on the Lord every day with persistence and indifference to repeated failures, then one day the first tender sprout of a leaf will appear. The leaf of spiritual life lies in constancy and steadiness. Then appear the beautiful flowers and the fragrance from them. Deep joy arises in meditation. And ultimately, the fruit of realization, all this depend on regular, affectionate watering, a regular spiritual practice done with bhakti. Then the sadhana enters the Lord. Such a one is called Prayatatma. He is a pure one. So you can imagine how difficult it is, but how easy also it is. So exactly like watering a plant, our continuous meditation will give these benefits. So that is the shloka of 26. But now he says, come down on the next shloka. Yat karoshi yadasnasi, yat juhoshi dadasi yati, yat tapasyati kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Yat karoshi, whatever you do, yadasnami, whatever you eat, yat juhoshi, whatever homas and all that you are performing, whatever you dadasi gives as dhanam, charities, yat tapasyasi, whatever austerities you follow, kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Do that as an offering to me, madarpanam. So now he has given, in the first case, patram pushpam badam toyam. Now suppose you are in a desert, you don't have any of these things. But he says, are you not getting up, taking a bath? Are you not doing some activities? Are you not eating your food? Are you not praying? Are you not offering something to others? So all these we do. Have that attitude that it is before doing that I am doing, remove that I. Bhagavan is making me to do. Bhagavan is the ultimate karta. I am only an instrument in the hands of Bhagavan. That is the attitude you have to develop. He says, Yat karoshi. It is not that he has given you a freedom to do whatever you want. Yadasnasi. It doesn't mean that you can eat whatever is available. Good food or bad food or, food which is not supposed to be eaten, prohibited to eat. Yat juhoshi. Yat dadati. Dadasi means what? Dhanam, charities. Nowadays, what happens is people give. They have the corruption is named as charity. Because I am taking money from you for some charitable purpose. No, because he has to get some job done. So, yat karoshi, yadasnasi, yat kurushva madarpanam. So, this is a very, very important sloka. In chapter 3, 30th sloka, he says, Mahi sarvani karmani. So whatever I do, sannyasyadyatma chetasa, with a pure mind, you renounce it. Nidashir nirmamo bhutva yudyasva vigatatjaraha. So that means how action should be done, he has given this sloka here. Again in chapter 2, Yogatta Kurukarmani Sangam Tektva Dhananjaya. So there also he has given how to do the activities. This sloka is only expanding the bhakti. So bhakti need not be restricted to doing japa or meditation. For that you need a temple, you need some place. No. Whatever daily we are doing from morning to evening, only thing in your mind is, I am not doing because I am only an instrument. Bhagavan is making me to do this. Simple. You don't have to. Don't need any this thing. So you please live in this world, but with this attitude. So it is not a license given to us to eat whatever is available or do whatever is required. No, that is not this thing. Madarpanam is the most important word in this sloka. Madarpanam means what? You offer to me. Mat arpanam. That means whatever action I do, I should be contented with that action itself. When I don't seek any benefit from or result out of that. See, in our villages, the farmers, especially sugarcane farmers. Suppose you call a farmer and say, okay, you eat as much sugarcane as possible, and I give you a salary for that. What will the farmer say? You're giving me, making me to eat sugarcane itself I am satisfied. I don't need any wages for that. கரும்பு தின்ன கூலி வனமா அப்படின்னு தமிழ் ஒரு பழமொழி உண்டு. கரும்பு தின்ன கூலி வனமா. So that means whatever action we do, if you do have that attitude that I am totally satisfied, I don't need any further things. Another example is, suppose there is a boy in your house already 14 years old, and your uncle or somebody comes with a child of 12 years. Now the father is asking his son, you take that your friend, my uncle's son for a cinema today. And the boy is very fond of looking at cinemas. So the boy says, yes, I always respect the command of my father because he has told me to take this boy for cinema. What will be his attitude? He is so happy. But at the same time, in the evening, the father says, take your tata to hospital, to the dentist. That work he does not like. So he is asking for a bribe of 5 rupees. Give me 5 rupees, I'll take him. See, for the cinema he went because that was a self-satisfaction job, where here he doesn't like this job. So it is, when you say Madarpanam, that Madarpanam should get a feeling that everything is Bhagavan's and I should be happy, I should be contented, I should be tripti. And that is why we always differentiate between work and worship. Work and worship. If I go to the office, I do work. If I go to the temple, I worship. But what Bhagavan here says, even the work you do in the office, treat this as worship. That is why we call this work is worship. So never differentiate between work and worship. Work is worship. This is again bhavana, attitude. It doesn't require anything. Only your mind has to change to this situation. And that will be the type of life you will have. There is one more example. There was a wealthy man in Kanpur. And Mahatma Gandhi was coming to Kanpur. And the wealthy man tells a driver, go and pick him from the railway station and bring him home. It was a drive of 15 minutes from the railway station to the house of this wealthy man. And he was so happy, so elated that he was driving Mahatma Gandhi in the car, and he had driven brought him to that wealthy man's house. He was really elated, so much of happiness. But daily he does driving for the boss, for the wealthy man. So what is his attitude there? Grudging. He wants bonus. He wants this. He wants that. Whereas for 15 minutes the work is same. Same work he is doing. They are also doing the more same work. But see the attitude change. Attitudinal change. This is what is this sloka says. Yat karoshi yadasnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So you can see now Nishkama Bhakti. What is Nishkama Bhakti? Is nothing but change of attitude. So Patram Pushpam Balam Toyam Yome Bhaktiya Prayachati Tadaham Bhaktyupahridam Asnabhi Prayatatmanaha Yat Karoshi Yadasnasi Yat Yuhoshi Dadasiyate Yat Tapasyasi Kaunteya Tat Kurushva Madarpanam. Very, very important sloka, two slokas, which is very, very easy to follow. So hereafter, let us not think of, see in our Ranarani, if some homas are going on, there are some people sitting in the front. Don't think they are the true devotees. No, you are also a devotee. But what is the mental makeup? So the external symbolism is not here. It is all your internal mind. So internally, your mind should be purified first. Get rid of all this hatred. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mata, Matsadya. So if you can get rid of these impurities in the mind, your mind becomes pure. The reflection is very clear. Atman will be reflected very clearly. Then you will really come to know that I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer, I am only an instrument, I am only a tool in the hands of Bhagavan, and he is making me to do this. Even though I have a free will, as I told you that you are there, world is there, Bhagavan is there. So if you surrender to Bhagavan, even for the world, everything is given by Bhagavan. So then where do you want to go and seek some petty pleasures from the worldly objects? We are human beings. Some people will say, how can I leave my attachment? Ragadvesha. Ragadvesha is very, very, is fixed with a Fevicol. Very difficult to separate. But you have to separate. One day you have to separate. Otherwise, we see what is happening. People die, no problem, husband and wife. See, in America, what happens? Before marriage, they go on telling, I love you, I love you, I love you. Even after marriage also, this continues, weekly once. Then, after some time, the lady and the both has to exchange, I love you, I love you. So somebody said, how many years you are married? 20 years. Even then, I love you, because there is fear complex, whether that fellow will love somebody else and go away. That is not here the Bhagavan's love. Here the love is firmly attached, conviction. We should have a conviction. So, very important sloka. Please, if possible, recite quite often. Keep it in memory. And whenever we feel depressed or dejected, we should know, yes. Because sorrow is also, there is another very important aspect of this. Here he says, there is a word he said, no, yat tapasyasi kaunteya. Another meaning for tapasyasi is whatever you are suffering from tapas also means suffering. So Bhagavan says, whatever you are suffering, offer that pain to the Lord. Then what happens? This is a great teaching. Even the deepest pain becomes profound ecstasy when we become fully aware of it. When we knew that our own inner consciousness has taken the shape of that tremendous suffering or miserable emotions, a profound oneness happens. The very suffering becomes transformed into as samadhi. So that means do not take suffering as a personal suffering. It has been given by Bhagavan to you to test. Offering our suffering to the Lord is not that easy. Why? When suffering visits, however much we must have equipped ourselves, because our intellect, intellectually, to face it, we become powerless. We become helpless. Karpanya doshopagata swabhavaha. That's what happened to Arjuna. Suffering can be absorbed into the heart only by knowing that it is Bhagavan himself who is behind it. So that means Sukha Dukkha Rendum Bhagavan da Kudukuran. So let us not get depressed. So when the sadhaka knows that every suffering is sent from a divine source in order to purify him, he is in fact overjoyed to surrender himself in the suffering. Very visible in the case of Ramana Maharshi. When he had a sarcoma, this one, he was not worried at all. He was absolutely calm and quiet. So treat suffering also as a Bhagavan's gift. See the attitude. Again, all attitude. Again, in the case of, if you take about this particular sloka, 27 sloka, Yat Karotu Yadastrasi Yadjuho Dadaji Yat Kurushva Tamas Madarpanam. What is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga is you offer to Yogastha Kurukarmani Sangam Tektva Dhananjaya. So that means Karma Yoga is equivalent to Bhakti. Bhakti is equivalent to Karma Yoga. There is no difference between. That is why in the third chapter, totally dedicated for Karma Yoga, we should study repeatedly so that that attitude will develop. Karma Yoga attitude. So Karma Yoga will lead you to Jnana Yoga, Bhakti to Jnana Yoga. Then you will come to know that you are not this body. So then your life will be very, very Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vashishyate. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.